Okay, in our first example, we are going to solve a couple equations that have that variable on both sides. Make sure you're listening carefully. I am going to give you some good hints on how to be successful with this. So our first example looks complicated. There's a lot going on. What you want to do is clean up the equation. You don't want to cross your equal sign yet, but if you have any distributing or any like terms to combine, that's just going to make the equation easier for us to solve. So on the left side of the equation, we see a couple terms with an x. This is a positive 3x and a positive 4x. We'll add the 3 and the 4 together and get 7x. That minus 10 doesn't have a like term, so we're just going to carry that down. Make sure we're aware it is a negative 10 that we're carrying down. On the right side of the equal sign, we have some distributing to do. So we're going to do that first. We have a negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times, we want to make sure we notice that that 4 is negative. So here we have a negative times a negative, giving us a positive 8. These are the little mistakes students tend to make. If we're not paying attention to our signs, we're going to get a wrong answer. So if you get in that habit of being very careful, you're just setting yourself up for success. All right, this plus 9 on the end is not inside the parentheses, so we don't distribute to that. We just carry it down, plus 9. What I do notice is we have 3 terms over here. If you have 3 terms, there's probably a couple that you can combine. So let's keep cleaning this up a little bit. I can see there's a positive 8 and a positive 9. So let's rewrite the equation one more time. The 7x minus 10, we cleaned up that side. On the right side, that negative 2x did not have anything to combine with, but that 8 plus 9, we're going to add those together to get 17. All right, here's the biggest piece of advice I can give you when you're solving an equation with variables on both sides. You want to get your variables to the same side first before you deal with these numbers, this minus 10 and this plus 17. I see a lot of students that really want to, when they see this, they want to add 10 to both sides. That's what you do when you're down to a two-step equation, when you have the variable on one side, but you want to get to that step. If you have the variable on both sides, you will have more success solving this equation if you get those to the same side first. So you're going to hear me stressing that a lot. Let's make sure that we're really aware. We have a negative 2x. We can add 2x to both sides. Negative 2x plus 2x cancels away. These are like terms. You can see I wrote it right underneath its like terms. We have 9x minus 10 equals 17. The reason why we want to get the variables together on the same side first is you guys know how to solve this. This looks familiar. It's a two-step equation. You've done these before. If we had not gotten the variables together first, you're left with an equation less familiar to you, and we tend to make mistakes. But you guys know how to keep going from here. So we'll keep solving. We'll add 10 to both sides. You always take care of your addition or subtraction first when solving. So 9x equals 27. And then to get that 9 to the other side, we will use division, and we get x equals 3. Okay, next example, let's see if there's any cleaning up we can do like we did on the last one. Well, I see some distributing. So we're going to do 1/2 times n is just 1/2 n. We won't worry about the fact that it's a fraction. 1/2 times a negative 4. So positive times negative is negative. And then 1/2 times 4 is the same thing as half of 4. And half of 4 is 2. We don't distribute to that 7. We'll just carry down minus 7 equals negative 2n plus 6. All right, so we've got 3 terms on the left, which means we can combine some. That negative 2 and that negative 7. We're going to put those together. So we have 1/2 n. Negative 2 minus 7 is negative 9 equals. And then over on the right, that looked good. Negative 2n plus 6. There's nothing we could do to clean that up. Okay, so we have an equation with a fraction. We saw this in a previous lesson. I'm going to show you guys my favorite trick. You can get rid of the fraction and give yourself an easier equation to solve if you do the fraction trick. So let's get rid of our fraction. We're going to multiply everything by the denominator of your fraction, which is 2. But we have to multiply everything by 2. So 2 times 1/2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1n. 2 times a negative 9 is negative 18. Carry down your equal sign. We have to multiply over here too. 2 times negative 2n is negative 4n, and 2 times positive 6 is a positive 12. Now we're going to solve this equation. The numbers got a little bit bigger, but we don't have fractions, so it does make it a little bit easier. We want to notice we have our variable on both sides. Get that to the same side first. It's always going to be our first step. It doesn't matter which side you go to. I'm going to add 4n. This will give me a positive n over here. Sometimes students just like the variable on the left side. We'll get the same answer in the end as long as we're being careful. 1n plus 4n is 5n. Minus 18 equals 12. Now we just have our two-step equation that we've been doing for years. So let's add 18. 5n equals 30. Divide both sides by 5, and you're going to get n equals 6.